Right. So let me go on. Right. So yeah, I was talking about the infrastructure that America doesn't have a walking path infrastructure. So, of course, off of the different videos that I've seen, and yeah, like you can't even cross this path, which is just amazing to me. Like what? You can't go from here to there? That's crazy. It's not like it's two lanes. If it's two lanes, don't be stupid. Just find a path like this one here, that the zebra path, crossing path. Then you do it. I was running, sorry. And then you cross there. You don't cross two different lanes. That's amazingly stupid. You know, you might get your ass killed. You might get killed. You know, you might die. Anyway, so okay, so they are liars and cheaters and thieves, violent people, and then you have these type of Edomites that make videos like this to justify themselves. I think he's gonna later say it is not. I'm not just wait. Let me see.
And the result was a cycle of massacres and reprisals that
A cycle of mass. Wow. Okay. Anyway, let me go on.
stretched over hundreds of years. Nobody walked away clean from this one. I'm Ken LaCourte. I research uncomfortable topics and do my best to share what I learned, especially topics like this, where the truth has been whitewashed to the point of painting a false narrative. So let's dig into what I learned. And it's not about making anyone a villain or a victim. It's about understanding reality.
It's not about making anyone a villain or a victim, but what did he heart? He heart this, yay. Yeah, it seems a dishonor to portray them as helpless victims. I doubt they'd want to. I doubt they'd want to appear weak and shut the fuck up with that shit, man. Yeah, but he hearted it. That's the point. So it is. You gotta watch out the snake-tongued devil, man. Yeah, just watch out for them. What they say is not what it is. Even other Edomites, they say stuff like, everything the government says not to do, do the opposite. Or they say to do it, well, just do the opposite. If they tell you not to do it, do the opposite. If they, especially concerning your health. I'm not talking about when they tell you don't steal, don't rob banks, and then you go do it. No, don't do that. I'm talking about, for example, don't take. Don't take herbs. Take pills. They're safer. They have been studied. You know, these herbs. You don't know what kind of side effects they have. I remember either my female telling me that too, but she doesn't know better, man. She doesn't know better. She's not one of the government. She believed. That's the point. She believed the government, and then she wanted to tell me like, "Hey, no, you shouldn't do that. You should take these pills." I'm not gonna. I'm like, yeah, they fooled you. They fooled you, and you trying to bring that same foolery to me, but you believe in it. It's a difference. You know, they know that they're lying, but you believe in it. So you're trying to help. She was trying to help me, but I was like, no. But she actually said like, oh, it's dangerous, those herbs. I don't know what's going to happen to you. You know, but these pills, they have been studied and, you know, tests have been done. So I think she was worried or something like that. But yeah, that's another story, but still. So I'll leave this link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. Let me go to, now I go to here. No. Okay, so the original video of this was actually about him. Actually.
If you don't know who he is a huge streamer, and I've actually criticized him on the channel before. One thing in particular that I don't like was like him feeding into the racist stereotypes and basically being a minstrel show. You know, eating fried chicken on camera, like just doing all this other weird stuff. Now, despite it,
fried chicken. The funny thing is that you think, well, I understand again, man. I understand, but you know, just through logic thinking, man. Just through logic thinking. Who is the biggest KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken eaters on the planet Earth, especially in America? Caucasus people. They're the one, the Edomites. Oh wait, sorry. Right, sorry about that. I had to do something. So, who are the biggest consumers of fried chicken? Edomites. And the other thing that they teach you is these vegetable oils are dangerous. Those are GMO vegetable oils. Canola oil, rapeseed oil, those two are the same, and those two are used for cars. What was it again? It was used as an engine lubricant. Canola oil. It was used as an engine lubricant. So this is not actually used. You shouldn't use it to cook, but that's what Esau wants you to do. And then he teaches you that olive oil is dangerous. When heated. This is man. You have to watch out for these snake-tongued demons. That's why I'm telling you, this is the same thing as how they make Africa look poor in your eyes. So I hope that a lot of Jacob descendants through this, that I can show them like, yeah, but you didn't even know how Africa looked until Aisho's speech showed you. So how much more do you think that, or how much more should you be thinking that it is possible that they lied to you about the Bible? If this is already something that they lied to you about in present time, in your face, in real time, how much more are they lying to you about the Bible in the past times, in history itself? But anyway, the Bible speaks about olive oil, that it is a good thing. Anointed. You know what anointings means? Definition of the word Christ, right? It goes to anoint. The word Christ means to anoint. And the word Christ comes from, or anointed, and the word Christ comes from the Hebrew word Mashayach. Mashayach. And that means that is Messiah. So what does Messiah mean? Basically the anointed one. But just like how I explained in the other video that English is a weird language, Dutch too, but yeah. A lot of these Edomite languages are weird. That's why back in the days, especially the older languages, which is even Spanish, Romans spoke Latin, so it's still older. But yeah, a lot of other languages, they say stuff like, I go toilet. You can't say that in the English or the Dutch. You have to start putting extra words with it in order for another person to understand what you're talking about. But if you are from that language or that country, that other country, you will understand what that person means, and you will also understand that he is or she is translating it literally in their brain, in their mind, and then saying it into the English or another language that these Edomites use nowadays. But anyway, the anointing of King Solomon was with olive oil. Here, the horn of oil. Well, the horn of oil out of the tabernacle. Now, this is the tabernacle, by the way. This is the tabernacle. And if you read the scriptures, especially in the book of Leviticus, olive oil was in here. Olive oil was in here. So, King Solomon got anointed with olive oil. And also, you had, let me see. Sorry, I'm thinking. The holy anointing oil was olive oil also. In the book of Exodus and Leviticus, you can read about it. And, damn it. Oh yeah, King David and King Saul, ex-King Saul. He was also, they was also anointed with olive oil. Yahushua was also anointed with olive oil. Anointing oil is olive oil, and cooking with it too. So it is not dangerous for you. Because what they're doing nowadays is this is what they do. Here. This oil is listed as olive oil, but the label sneakily hides that it is mixed with canola oil. That's what they do. That's what they do. And canola oil is very dangerous for you. Canola oil, it was so dangerous that it was changed from rapeseed oil. It says here, canola oil is now a generic term for edible varieties of rapeseed oil. So, it used to be called rapeseed oil, right? But then they started to get so-called backlash from it. They was like, we got to get away from that name. We're not going to change anything except the name. The ingredients is going to be the same. We're just going to change the name. So then they started to call it canola. Why is canola oil banned in some countries? Why do you think? Anyway, so it says here, due to the erucic acid? Okay, whatever. Content in canola oil. It's rapeseed oil. It's the same thing. But if people ban this one, then they will use this name. And if they ban this name, then they will use this name. Here, canola oil is now marketed as rapeseed oil. And either vice versa. So rapeseed oil is now known as canola, and canola is now known as rapeseed. But if I'm correct, it used to be rapeseed first. Hybrid strains from the unfortunately named rapeseed oil. It's a how you call that thing again? It's a GMO plant. It's a genetic, not as in fake, like a laboratory made or something like that, but more so genetically modified organisms. You have two types of GMO. You have the laboratorium GMO, and you have the crossbred GMO, the hybrid. This is the hybrid. Okay, enough of this. So now I'm gonna go back to here as an example.
That he's doing something right now that is very positive, and I don't think he realized how big it is. For the past year or so, he's been going around to different countries streaming, basically doing IRL stream. And to kick the year off, I Show Speed decided to do a Africa tour. Now, as American, when we hear Africa, we think of teepees, huts, dirt roads, things of that nature. And this is just another form of propaganda. Like, I remember when I was younger, man, getting ready for school, I used to have the TV on. Every morning, it used to be Feed Africa ads.
Yeah, I remember that too. I remember that 100%, but yeah. The funny thing is that, well, let me just go on, sorry.
See like a skinny African little kid with a white woman, saying, oh, give us money to feed them. These are the type.
They took that money and bailed out. Just like this money here. Up to 41 billion in World Bank climate finances not being accounted for. Let me see here, not being accounted for. Not being properly tracked. I read the word accounted here somewhere. Oh yeah, so sorry. Oxfam finds, and there are more articles about this. And then you have, but these devils want to propagate. This is the lie, that there goes the snake-tongued devil again. And then they push this out as the first one, but there's many other another fact check nonsense. Lost 24 million, whatever. What? 24 billion? Oh. 41. That's the same thing that they did with the 1970s. with the 1970s Ice Age ads that they had on the television. I saw this. They had it in the 80s too. You had History Channel back in the days also, but I saw this on commercials, and just they was teaching you this. You know, that's why I often say, don't get taught by them. Learn from the shit that they did in their history, in their past. And of course, nowadays, you need to learn. That's how you spot a devil. But anyway, an evil creature, a deceiver, a liar, a murderer, a thief. That's how you spot them.
That someday the ice will return. At least 8 times in the past million years, it has advanced and retreated with clockwork regularity.
Bullshit. Anyway.
If we are unprepared for the next advance, the result could be hunger and death on a scale unprecedented in all of history. What scientists are telling us now is that the threat of an ice age is not as remote as they once thought. During the lifetime of our grandchildren, Arctic cold and perpetual snow could turn...
Garbage. This is another propaganda that they push. But the funny thing is, back in those days, they didn't anticipate shit. Sorry, Ice Age. This one here. Fucking devil. So then they put the sound effects.
In 1977.
That wind that you hear, that's obviously sound effects. But back in those days, a lot of people couldn't tell the difference. Just like how nowadays, a lot of people can't tell the difference between a CGI made video and a real video. A lot of older people, when they see the CGI, if you don't know what I just said, I said the software AI type of thing videos. Like Michael Jackson in Kentucky Fried Chicken. Another bullshit KFC. They put Martin Luther King in AI. Sorry, in a KFC thing and stuff like that. They put Michael Jackson in, and he's still in chicken. You know which race made this, right? You know. Do you think it's the Asiatic? Maybe it's the East Indian. Maybe it's the Arabs. You know what? I think it's the turtles. I think it's the turtles, man. They're always on the plot trying to get us, man. Trying to make us look bad and shit like that. I think it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know, Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, and Raphael, and their master Splinter. He's a rat, so he must be a rat in himself. You know, doing ratty stuff toward us. Not snitching. I'm actually using the word rat. You know who is also compared to as a rat by other caucus people? Do you want to know?
Looking nice, pal.
Woo! No, he stole my chicken!
Got a crispy treasure, can't slow me down. Hot and golden, I'm out at this time. Move, move, Friday, victory.
Well, get back here.
Run, spin, slide, I'm gliding out the door. Fried love him all.
Which race do you think made this, man? Anyway, they do the same thing with Martin Luther King. And that's what they do. That's what this race does. But a lot of people wouldn't know that was fake. They was like, I didn't know Michael did that. Must be an old video.
7. The worst winter in a century struck the United States.
You like that sound? That's fake. That's Hollyweird. That's the studio sound effects.
Arctic cold gripped the Midwest for weeks on end.
Arctic cold.
Great blizzards paralyzed cities of the Northeast.
Paralyzed them.
One desperate night in Buffalo, 8 people froze to death in marooned cars.
So they froze to death in maroon. You can just get the fuck out the car. You couldn't get out the car. Really? You believe that shit, man?
Pat Bushnell was on the road that night.
Traffic just absolutely stopped. I was afraid of being stuck in the car all night long with the cold and the wind, running out of gas. And then what? I think that if we have to go through a a real bad winter, just like we just went through.
You could just gone to a hotel. Anyway, they're lying to you. But where is the ice age now? Where is it? Since that prediction failed, they went the opposite. With heat. See? But then again, people, or this 4 years ago. Then again, people know about this, but what are you gonna do about it? You can't stop them. That's why the Heavenly Father said we need Him to wait upon Him until He cometh up against them, because we ourselves are not gonna win against the devil. Satan is their god that they worship to, and they are the minions and peons of Satan. They're devils by nature. So let me finish this, try and finish this video. So I set up a few things, right? Which is, for example, this guy, this house Negro over here, he's siding with another motherfucker, with another house Negro. The book of Sirach 20:20, a wise sentence shall be rejected when it cometh out of the mouth of a fool's mouth, for he will not speak it in due season. And this is not even a wise sentence. But this monkey here in the middle, he is siding with him. I don't know. And then he wants to fight Joe Swole or something. I didn't even watch this video. I'm not looking at this guy. I saw one video of his where he was clowning Jim Jones. I found that was funny. And then I clicked on another one.
If Nicki Minaj...
But the Heavenly Father is a beautiful thing to me. I say it. Jim... Wait, let me see. Because... The reason why I said that is because... I didn't watch too many of this guy. I watched like one video that I found funny. This one. And I watched the other one also of him. I think it was this one. I think it was this one. This one was funny. This one was hella funny. Hilariously funny. And this one I watched. I watched this one and this one. Then I clicked on a few others.
Before we get to today's...
And then he came up with some caucus skin shit. They call it light skin, whatever the fuck. He came up with that type of shit. So I was already like, okay. Right. I don't know, man. I don't know how people like this be walking around still. But anyway. He did this video here. And I don't think it's... Oh, yeah, this one. This is what I found funny, what he said.
This is the video that got me banned from Harlem, Jimmy.
That's Jim Jones on the roof twerking. He
But I'm not the one who was twerking in the Get 'Em Daddy video.
Until now, I think it's funny because I'm not laughing at him no more. I'm laughing at because of this. I saw the footage, but he was funny until I didn't laugh no more. Now everything that come out of his mouth is like, I pray to Heavenly Father that I can sharpen my sword against people like this. I'm not gonna talk too much about this guy. If you want to watch the video, you can click it up for yourself. It is funny, but I'm not laughing with him no more. So yeah. Anyway, I think I could click this all the way. This is just a glorified house Negro. He's not really up there with the other house Negroes, because he still claims to be some kind of whatever the fuck, man. Whatever the fuck, man. Just whatever the fuck. But he says he's not wrong though. Like, look at how he is. This is another propaganda type of thing. Look at how he portrays him. And then look at how the other brother... Wait, let me play this first.
Black people want me dead because I'm calling out the issues in the black community.
No, they want you dead because of the things that you want to do, the things that you say, the mannerisms that you are, the bullshit that's coming out your snout.
Blacks need fewer...
Anyway, he's agreeing with them, so...
I love being black.
No, you don't, because I have seen other videos where you hate being black. I hate being part of these people. I hate these people. That shit... That's not the truth. You're lying. And then he says again, he made another video. He's still not. Oh, what? He's still not wrong. Okay. He wants to show him in a good light. And then here, okay, now I'm gonna go to this brother over here.
who lost hundreds of thousands of people.
And then you're going to see what other type of shit he's saying.
Who freed the slaves? White people. Who lost hundreds of thousands of people in the Civil War? White people. Who solidified the success of
the Civil War that they start? What the fuck are you talking about, man? These devils. You can't talk to these people. You can't talk to them. But anyway, hundreds of people that lost in the war. Who started that war? Why was that war in the first place?
of the civil rights movement? White people.
Why did the civil rights movement have to be in existence in the first place? Because of them same goddamn devil. Like I said, you can't talk to these type of people, and there's only one path for them.
No, this is not satire. He is dead.
He's dead serious. He has more. He has more. We should have never freed the slaves.
Worth it. When black people sit back and act so ungratefully, acting as if America is the worst place to live, or that.
And he talks shit about Africa too. How they're dirt poor, living in huts. So, like I said, man, just looking at these type of clowns, it's just like, damn. They really got that caucus pee-pee in his mouth. Like, they really have it. Everything that they say, they chew it and spit it out. Anyway, man, the propaganda thing is going on, and Lord willing, it's going to be stopped, because the Most High said that He will send out men. They will go out there and talk. That's why I like it when, you know, the Jacob descendants like this. Almost said something stupid. When brothers like this that don't know that the Israelites, but let me get this monkey out of here too. Let me see. The Lucas guy. The brothers like this. I still love my people, man. Don't you know? These are my people. You know, our people, my people. Might not be yours, but still, I like them. Let me see. Where's the other one? The Amazing Lucas. Can't see him. I probably clicked it away. Don't know. I think oh man, damn it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, because he's clowning her too. I like that. I like that when a Jacob descendant is calling out them other devils. You know, them devil negroids. You know, I like that. He has a lot of videos. I like this. I like this guy. He's funny. Man, almost I think every video I laughed. Every video I laugh at this guy. I didn't even know he was that big. You know, I didn't even know he was that big. Yeah, I didn't even think this. I didn't even think twice about this. I was like, oh, who is this guy? And I know of him for maybe 2-3 months. So now I know of him. So I didn't even know this guy, man. He just popped up on my radar, most likely because I'm clicking on stuff like him, and I'm clicking on stuff like him. So then they start feeding me that type of thing. And yeah, I clicked on him a few times too. And I think him too. Yeah, no, not I think, but I clicked on him. Yeah, but yeah, it's his. Yeah. It's his video. So anyway, so yeah, they want to put me in that category, algorithm type thing, because, you know, when you click on something, then they kind of guide you toward. But when you click on Hebrew Israelite videos, they're not guiding you toward Hebrew Israelite videos. So they're doing this one for the, I don't know, entertainment or something like that. It's not a threat. That's what I should say. They're doing it because it's not a threat to them, because they keeping you in this black Africanism type of thing. But I do like my people because, you know, they fighting against them. They're fighting against the house Negroes. That's what I like. That I really like that. I don't want them to live, so I don't want a house Negro to exist. Like that guy that I clicked away, that Brandon dude. I don't want people like that to be around. He shouldn't be around. Anyway, this is how they portray the so-called black men in the world of America and into the rest of the world. Same thing they did with they do with the Native Americans, monkeys like this. They do that still until this day. So through the propaganda of, how you call them? Through the propaganda destructing. It's not even destroying. It's just he's showing the other side. Because of this, you should now also understand that Esau is doing it with the Native Americans. But now let me finish up, man, because I've been talking for 30 minutes now. Sorry about that. Let me go up in this right here. The documented truth of what the other Edomites from Europe saw. Not the ones in America and stayed in America. No. The ones in Europe and stayed in Europe and talked about when they went there in America, okay? This is a book from Hernando de Soto. Wait. Which one was it? Damn. It was the history. Yeah, I think it was this one in Florida. Here, but it has a larger name, like a longer name. I think it was this one. Here. This one is this. It is. This one. This is the book. Title, sorry. This title of the book. The History of Hernando de Soto and Florida, or Records of the Events of 56 Years from 1512 to 1568. And who is Hernando de Soto? This guy. If I'm correct, wait, let me double check that. Yeah, this guy. I think it was him or him. It does look like he had some kind of curly going on. Everything was here, but yeah, I don't know. You know, it was just a person from Spain, not this guy, but this guy, right? Okay, so let me read what he wrote in his book. Okay, let's go with it. Well, I don't know the how you call that thing. It says the pages, but yeah, here 84 and all that type of stuff. You know, I just put the link 85, page 85. I'll just put the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. Okay, so it says right here, the complexion of these people is black, not much different from that of the Ethiopians, the Cushites. Their hair, it has a lot of misspelling, because I would think that somebody translated it from another language. I'm not sure, but it has a lot of these typos within it. That doesn't mean that the book is not real. You can find it online, PDF and stuff like that, but this is archived anyway, and it's unchanged forever, because I have, not forever, but I mean, like, I made a video about this in 2018, and I come back now and it's still the same. So ain't nobody changing this. Their hair is black and thick and not very long. Who does that remind you of? The so-called Negroes. So what is he telling you that he saw? He saw black people, so-called black people. Oh yeah, I also took pictures and then screen pictures so that I have it here, but I'll go through these ones. I can actually go to the other one because I might not be able to find all the things. So let me just go here. Sorry, yeah, here. Okay, so the complexion of these, no, I don't want to do it like this, sorry. The complexion of these people is black, not much different from the that of the Ethiopians. Not much, but there is a difference. But anyway, let me go on. Their hair is black and thick and not very long. It is worn tied back upon the head in the form of a little tail. In person, they are of good proportion, of middle stature, but not that tall. Middle stature, let me see. A little or above our own, so they was taller than them. They were still taller than them. Broad across the breast, strong in the arms. These were talking about the Negro ones, the so-called Negro ones, right? And well formed in the legs and other parts of the body. The only exception to their good looks is that they have broad faces, because they don't like the so-called black faces, the Negro faces, the so-called, black faces, whatever you want to call yourself. But not all. However, so not all of them, because in this book he will show you, he will say, for example, that yeah, some of them the sun kissed them, and but then if you look at Africa here, if you look at this race, the Bushmen, the Sun people, they're called Sun people. Okay, these people never went into slavery, but they're brown perpetually. They're reddish brown, even reddish brown, and they're light skinned brown too, and they are continually in the sun. They have no clothing. They don't walk around with clothing like that. Okay, these are Hamites. So they're not turning dark. Look, some of them babies are turning like this, like little T.I., that so-called rapper over there in America. Look at him. This little T.I. over there. And you had this. I forgot. There was a few rappers that actually looked like these people. Damn, it's like 2 of them, but I can't figure out their name. Anyway. However, as we saw, many that had sharp ones. See, they had ones with sharp faces. Who do you think he's talking about? These ones. Well, sorry, let me see. These ones. The ones from the 1500s, 1600s. Damn, I can't find. It's just damn. I can't find. Yeah, you could kind of call them. They basically had sharp faces, You should know what it means. These ones. You had these ones with the sharp faces. They called it sharp because they was talking about their eyes being sharp also. So it says here that had sharp ones, with large black eyes and a fixed expression. Listen, they were not stupid like they make a mistake. This is talking about the so-called black, aka so-called Negro ones, right? Yeah. And these are the ones that talking about the native ones with the fixed expressions. Here. Well, here. Japanese artists typically do this so that people can depict the emotions of the character more easily. Why? Because a lot of people, when they have these so-called fixed eyes, which is they're perpetually one eye, like one emotion and one expression. This would be happy. This look here, Son Goku angry versus. Versus happy. When he wants to look serious, when they make him shit, I can't see it good. Look, when they make him look like this, he's on a serious time, serious type time. Okay, but when they enlarge his eyes, he's happy. Stuff like that. I hope you understand what I'm saying, right? And then, therefore, Asiatic people, the Asiatic eyes. I shouldn't say people. These are the eyes that they have. It cannot really it can, but I hope you understand what I'm saying, man. It doesn't really express emotions. When they draw it like this, it just looks like he's angry, and he just has one emotion. Of course, they're trying to emulate Caucasian people, of course. But loose from that, they do have a point to a certain degree. Because if you look at this one, Akira, They have the same faces. Like, you know, they look like they're shocked, but you know, I don't know, angry. They all look the same. Here he has to open up his eyes to look like he's shocked. Of course, you can see through the image that, you know, this is representative of being shocked, but these were the days before they started to put Caucasian faces with yellow hair and blue eyes. The cartoon characters, the animation characters kind of look like this. They look more Japanese. They look more Asiatic. They didn't stay like that because they started to draw them more Caucasian-like, more like Edomites, you know, because they saw that the money was there. Because when they released this in 1988, it was big, but it wasn't that big in Asia, man. It was supremely big in Europe and America. So when they saw that the market was there, they started to draw up cartoons that look like them. So when they would see themselves, they would buy even more. You know, that's how merchants think. They're trying to get money, and a merchant shall hardly keep himself from doing wrong. And that's exactly what they did. But anyway, it's talking about them. It's talking about the Native Americans, this one. So it says here, with large black eyes and a fixed expression. That's their eyes. So they clearly saw two natives. They saw these ones with broad noses and dark skin, black skin. And they saw these ones. It says right here, they are not very strong in body, but acute in mind. And that's often a lot of times, a lot of people that are strong, they're not that bright. Not all the time, but you know, a lot of jocks, they're not that smart. I don't know, I'm just saying it like how it is, man. They're not that deep. A lot of guys that go to the gym all the time because they fixated like women upon their outdoor appearance. I should buy a fucking bikini for every last one of them. Why won't you wear this, man? You know, on a beauty pageant stage. You know, beauty pageants, what they had back in the 90s and stuff like that, where you had them females answering stupid ass questions like, how are you gonna bring world peace? Well, I'm gonna walk around in a bikini and show my tits and just make people feel like I'm beautiful. That's gonna stop world peace. That's gonna start world peace, and that's gonna stop all the wars. You know, because they're gonna be like, oh, beautiful women. They're gonna rape your ass. But anyway, so it says right here, they are not very strong in body, but acute in mind, active and swift of feet. The movie Apocalypto, you can see them running. But that's just an example, you know. As far as we could judge by observation, in these two particular, they resemble the people of the East. Oh shit, is that what he said? Yes, he said they look like Asian people. They look like Chinese and Japanese. This is America, huh? Okay? Especially those the most remote. Yeah. So it says right here, we could not learn a great many particular of their usages on account of one short stay among them, and the distance of our ship from the shore. We found not far from this people another whose mode of life we judged to be similar. So they went to another place. This young male remarked that these people were black, like the others, that they had shining skin, middle stature, and sharp faces. So this is the third one. So you had the ones, well, wait, I'll get to the word townie, but you had brown ones, brown Native Americans, right? Then you had dark ones, like dark Native Americans with the sharp faces. And then you had the Negro ones with the broad noses and stuff like that, with the hair, with the woolly hair, the afro hair, right? And it was short. It didn't grow long like the natives, like the other natives that had the straight hair. That they had long hair, right? And sharp faces. It's pointy. The faces of theirs were pointy, you know? Like them pointy noses and stuff like that. and very delicate bodies and limbs, and that they were inferior in strength but quick with their minds. So these ones were smart. They was not strong in body. They looked weak, according to the caucus themselves. They looked at them, and you know, these people size you up. A lot of times, especially, look, I have a few caucus that test me because they're bigger, but the thing is, I'm not trying to be no tough guy, man, so I'm trying to use my words very carefully. I don't want to say nothing about how I'm gonna pass or some stuff like. I don't want to do that. I'll just say this: when look, I'm gonna give an example. If you go to school and somebody bullies you and stuff like that, right? Okay, cool, okay. So now you had enough, and then now you go to school again, but this time you got a knife. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't about scaring them. No. You go to school, and then they try that shit again. So now you cut, make a bloodbath, right? And if they survive, they're gonna be like, "Hey, he crazy, man." No, you crazy. You fucking with him. You're the nut guy. You're the nutty. And then once they know that, like, he survived and barely, but he made it. And then afterward, everybody else gonna know, like, okay, he gonna fight back. You can't just bully him. He's gonna try and kill you. Once they start knowing that, then they be either when they come, they're gonna have to do something, or they're gonna stay coward like they are, because a lot of them are cowards. A person that bullies is most of the time a coward until he finds somebody else that's tougher than him and puts him in that situation. But that's a whole nother story. But the point is that, you know, whatever. Yeah, let me leave that. Okay, I'm not gonna read the blue one actually, but it's also good, you know, for the introduction and stuff like that. So it's talking about what they had on, the clothing. Okay. They exceeded us in size, and they are of a very fair complexion. Very beautiful. So this is dark skin because it's talking about dark skinned people, and they called them very fair complexion. So if you talk about fair complexion nowadays, especially in India, you're talking about white. They're talking about Caucasian skinned people. But back in the days, the Caucasians themselves, they said, wow, fair complexion. That's what they call fair, man. That's fair complexion, man. Anyway, they exceeded us in size. They were bigger than them. And that's why when I read this, right? Let me tell you how I grew up with the Super Nintendo and stuff like that. So I used to play this game called Street Fighter, right? And then Super Street Fighter 2 came out, and I saw this guy, T-Hawk, Mexican. And I was like, why are these Japanese? Because I knew it was Street Fighter from Japan. Haven't these Japanese people ever seen Native Americans? What the fuck are they talking about? Like, this make no sense. Like, and by the way, Mexicans, we call them natives too, because they're natives, but from Middle America and South America. So yeah, if you get confused, I am talking about the Mexicanos and Mexican people, whatever you want to call them, and the North American, the North American natives. I do know that according to them, they're two different people. It's kind of true to a certain degree. But according to the world, all of you are Native Americans, whether you're Native Middle American or Native South American or Native North American. But I do understand that they have different names for themselves, so I'm gonna do it according to what they call themselves. Yeah, anyway. So when I saw this guy, I was like, are they stupid? Are they blind? There is no such thing as a tall Mexican. There's no such thing. Oh yes, there is. There was, at least. Oh yes, there was. So here you can see him towering over. But this is an Asian guy. This is Bruce Lee. So at the end, let me see. Here, they drew him in the game being taller than the so-called black man, right? And then here you could see him actually getting taller. That damn thing is in front of it. If this character was standing here, then you would see his bigger proportion because he's actually crouching when he stands. Right, let me see, maybe here. This guy is crouching too, so Because he's kind of tall too. Oh yeah, here it is. It shows it. Do you see that he arched himself? So he's actually very taller. He's much taller. And then the biggest character in the entire game, the tallest, I should say, sorry. The tallest character in the game, wait, let me see here. He's taller. But the tallest character in the game by just standing up straight is this guy. And then it looks like he is taller than him. Sorry, I can't draw a straight line like this, but he's not, because if he stands straight, I think one of the winning poses, he actually does stand straight, and then he would be like here. So you can imagine my frustration. It's not frustration. You can imagine my the things that I said. Are they stupid? Like everybody, Mexicans are not that big. Until I read this, and then I thought to myself like, wow. These people there in Japan actually are doing they are actually depicting the truth. This is literally what they did look like. I didn't know that. Of course I didn't. Because, you know, the devil is teaching us, and therefore we don't know. So let me see what I'm looking for here. When I saw this in Dragon Ball, I was younger too. When I saw this in Dragon Ball, then I went back to go and check out this in Dragon Ball, the Native Americans, and then I thought to myself, wow. In Dragon Ball, they did it too. Not just in Street Fighter. They actually did make the native man very big and tall and strong looking. They did make him big. I really thought to myself like, wow, those sons of bitches, they actually did make them look big in the cartoons and stuff like that. You know, all this manga and stuff like that. But anyway, they did make him look big. So they was telling the truth. I didn't know that. Anyway, go back to here. But with the muscles and stuff like that, well, whatever. The so-called black tribes had the muscles, and yeah. Let me go on. Some of them inclined more to be white, meaning they were lighter skinned, and others to a tawny color. So, and what is tawny? I always misspeak this word. So sorry about that. I say tawny, but that's not what it says. It's tawny minus the T. Tawny. Tawny. If you type in the tawny color, you will get brown, brownish. It's a different shade of brown. That's what it is. It's orange to going to. It's not really orange. It's like brown, but if you go lighter, then you will get to orange. It's kind of orangey, brownish type of thing, as you can see here. It's kind of orange, but it's brown. Same thing with here. You have these type of females, which is brown, but they call it a redhead. And if you look at so-called redheads, and this is fake hair. This is real. This is orange, but it comes from brown. If you add white to brown, it will become orange. And if you add black to orange, it will become brown. So, you have the brown boots, the beige brown thing, the orange brown sweater thing, and then you have her hair, which is brown, orange-ish, brown-ish. That's why they take these pictures. Oh, here, I was looking for this. That's why they take these pictures, because they know that the color theme fits, the color palette, it fits. Okay, this is fake. This is fake orange hair. Even though a little less bright, they do exist. But yeah, Ireland has a lot of them. Ireland has a lot of them. Well, not specifically only Ireland, but you do have them. And you also have certain black females born with orange hair. I think that was in Ireland too. Yeah, this one. She was born this way, and this one too. You can see it. You can look at them like, oh, you born that way? Yeah, they're born that way. You have these ones, but if you look closely, it's kind of brown, going into orange. This is fake. This is all fake. This is fake. Actually, she could be real. I don't know. I don't know. Because I saw she probably mixed up. This is real. You know, she got the freckles and stuff like that. And she most likely mixed up too. But yeah. I think this is the same girl as this one. Only this one is lighter. I think they messed. Yeah, Swedish Gambian. Yeah. They mixed up. So this one too. So I have no problem with this whatsoever. I got a fucking problem with this one. Why? Because you want to imitate Esau, and it's just irritating to see. But you know, fuck it. Going on. And others to a tawny color. Sorry, their faces are sharp, which goes into the Asiatic things and stuff like that. The featurings. Their hair is long and black, upon the adorning of which they bestowed great pains. Their eyes are black and sharp. What does that mean? Doesn't it look like it's sharp? This one looks a little bit more not oval, but you know, a little bit more bigger, rounder. This one looks sharp. That's how they describe it. It's sharp looking. So you had brown ones like this. And then you had a little bit lighter skinned ones like this also. But you had blacker ones like what? Let me read on. So, okay, their face is sharp. Their expression mild and pleasant. Greatly resembling the antique. The other part, and if I'm thinking of antique, I think they mean Orientals. Anyway, the other parts of their body are all in good proportion, and such as belong to well-formed men. Their women are of the same form and beauty, very graceful. You know, there was, I'm not even gonna say it. History shows it, what they did. Of fine countenances and pleasing appearance in manners and modesty. Yeah, that's really what they were. Does this look like a fucking bunch of savages that this little filthy ape is talking about? No, like I said, he's focusing on the gangbangers, and that is what he then therefore wants to throw out in the world and make them the representatives of the Native Americans. That is not the truth, because this person here says half our songs are about glory of defeating the neighbor natives in raids and battles and capturing their people. They was enslaving each other too. Yes. The natives were doing that to other natives. But you had other groups of natives that if they see them, their whole village would be put to death. Because that's a village of raiders. Rapists, murderers, devil worshippers. Sacrificers, children sacrificing and stuff like that's what they were doing. So they would be killed, you know. And if you go around them thug niggas, and the Bloods and Crips and stuff like that, this is what they're doing. They're making songs about how they defeat their enemies and smoking them in a pack, and taking their bitches because they can't enslave them. If they could, they would. If they could, they would. But Esau's gonna stop them because the Most High put that spirit on them. Romans 13. If he kills you, he doesn't bear the sword in vain. It's not for no reason. He did it because he's a devil. But the Most High be like, let him loose. You already hate them. Go police them. And then when he sees something in his mind that is unrighteous, if it was another caucus person, he would pull out his gun and tell him, get down on the ground. Now peacefully let me arrest you. But when it's a Jake, bam! He's already dead. Don't resist. You shot him in the head. I don't know these creatures. They might just do some spontaneous sparkling or something. Grab my gun and shoot dead walking or sleepwalking. Yeah. Sleep. Shoot him again. Bam. You know? Because they hate you. And some of you motherfuckers deserve that shit. Like you're smoking and packing, not thinking about the mother of the child of the man, the young boy that you just murdered. not thinking about his family members, nothing. You don't care. But anyway, let me go on. So that's why people shouldn't care when you get smoked too. Anyway, their expression, the other parts of their body, well formed. They're women. They wear no clothing except a deer skin ornamented like those worn by the men. Some wear very rich lynx skins upon their arms, and various ornaments upon their heads, composed of braids or of hair. I wanted to grab a picture, but I don't need to. Which also hang down upon their breasts on each side. Well, I'll just show it. They had this. The two braids that they're kind of known for. You see, when I see shit like this, and this is a software. This is a software. This is what they call it the AI thing. The AI, that's the AI thing. Anyway, this is what they had. You know, this is what they had. Right. So you had these brown ones and you had darker ones, but let me go on. So it says right here. Where is it? Upon their breasts on each side. So the hair was hanging upon their breast, kind of covering it to a certain degree. Others wear different ornaments, such as the women of, here, you see? The women of Mizraim and the women of Aram. Come on, man. Not all of the natives were walking around naked, man. Some of them had clothing on. For example, do you see every black female walking around like this? At the awards. Do you see every so-called black female walking around like this? Like a fucking clown? Like a clown show? You don't see, they don't do this, man. Not everyone is walking around like this. A lot of them are trying to catch pneumonia because they do have their chest poking out. They walk around like this and stuff like that. But not all of them are walking around like this, man. So with that I mean, like, not all of the natives over there had, just how can I say it? No clothing on, basically. Not all of them had that. Some of them were dressed modest and respectable. That's the word I'm looking for. Here. Damn, I should. They was walking around like this, man. They had these type of things. They had these type of things with dresses, respectful. They were dressed respectful, covered up. Ancient Syrian. Let me see. I don't even have to put that. I just wanted to get their clothing. They had covered. Here, this is better. They had covered clothing from head to toe. Not all of them were actually doing like that, because you have certain one of them that was doing this. These were Mizraim, and they made the thing lighter, But then again, there were also lighter brown or people of in the continent of Africa. There was not only one dark skin, man. That's also what I learned, that a lot of the Americans think. They think everybody was dark skinned. The Bush people never went into slavery, and they're pale. A lot of them look like T.I. like some caucus been up in there, and his wife, which somewhere is a Edomite. I think her mother or something like that, or her grandmother, something like that. I don't know. I saw it glance by, that there. But anyway, let me just go on to over here. Right, let me get you a picture. Right, this is what I wanted to show you. When they came to there, you have other pictures, but I can't find them right now. It's like 222. I can't find them, and I have more in other folders. But anyway, you have these types that they found in America. This is from America. They had clothing of this. You see the fringes. I know it's bad quality, but sorry about that. But you had the fringes and stuff like that. Wait, let me try to find something. Wait. Right, look, as you can see here, this one is from America, and this one is, she got the fringes, man. She got the fringes. So the caucus, they made sure that they at least documented this. They probably didn't understand what they was doing when they drew this. And this is in America, right? And this here is in Africa and also in America. So here they had the tiger leopard skin or something like that, and I think here it is the lion, the dead lion skin. And here you have some kind of a South American cat. I think it's the tiger. You have a, it's not a real tiger. It's not, no, sorry, real tiger. It's not a tiger as with the stripes and stuff like that. You have different type of tiger. Wait, let me see. Tigers in you have different type of tiger. Well, it's not a tiger, how you would call it, but you do have these ones. But I think this one is talking about this one, but not that one. I think jaguar. We have these ones, right? Different type of tigers in South America. Do they? If I'm correct, they do have this because I remember a story. Yeah, I do. Yeah. You do have the, yeah. Right, this one. This one is gone. It doesn't have the teeth anymore. It's now the same thing as this, but it doesn't have the teeth, and it's smaller now than this one. But yeah, you do have them there. If I'm correct, I think, yeah. Right, anyway, let me focus on this one. I do remember a story that a man that I know saw a tiger. He did see it, but that's another story. I personally never saw a tiger in Suriname, so I can't talk. But I do know that I do know stories of them, because I'm not in the bushes like other people. That's another example. You have certain people that are in Suriname living in the forests, and they do 100% do know Black Panthers are there. I know that one because I love them, so I know about them. But the tigers, oh, now I love the tigers too, but I didn't really know about them like that. But yeah, I do know a man that told me about them, so I do know that. I didn't see him myself. Panther, I didn't see myself neither, but still, I know of them. So enough of this. Sorry, this too. The point is this: our people had clothing like this, yeah. So they wasn't all wearing nothings. They tell you here. The caucus is telling. The Edomite is telling you here. Some of them look like women of Mizraim. Some of them look like women of Aram. The older and the married people, both men and women, wear many ornaments in their ears, hanging down in the Oriental manner. The Oriental manner is east. Oriental means it's talking about Asia. So what does Asia mean? Asia means only one thing. Here. Asia. What does it mean? To go to rise, in reference to the sun. Thus the land of the sun rising. That's why you have Japan. I wanted to say the rising sun of Japan, but anyway, the word Asia means east. That's what it means. Asia. Let me see. It's a Greek word. Wait. Just let me type this for this. Asia means east. That's the literal here. It is believed that the name may be derived from the Assyrian word asu, meaning east. That is what it comes from. Asia means literally east. That's the only thing that it means. It doesn't mean a race of people, because the East Indians are there too. The Arabs are there too. It doesn't, so it's not specifically well, the Arabs are not really, It's called the Middle East, I should say. You know, but anyway. So Oriental manner, and then let me. Oh man, that's not really going to see. That's why I want to just read this one here.